And that's what I was talking about. I mean, it's owning an old home. It's a lot different than when I say old home. I mean, like,
Yeah, how old are we talking?
if
20 years old?
20's not old.
I know. These 20-year-olds don't know nothing. We're in our 40s, so we could say that now.
That's true. I know. It feels good to say that, actually.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, let's think about it. So, old home. What is an old home? In Indianapolis, typically you're going to find an old. I mean, old homes. You're looking at century homes, is what we call them. Century homes are homes that are 100 years or older, and really, you go back to 1830s, 1840s is probably about as old as you're going to find, and there's very few of those. I think
in Indianapolis?
In Indianapolis. Well, and just in Indiana in general.
Yeah, in Indiana in general. Indianapolis, we get into the 1920s and early 1900s a lot.
Well, the oldest home I think in Indianapolis, and I have to research this, is it's like late 1800s. You can find a lot of.
I've sold an 1895.
Yeah. Like the oldest that I sold, this was crazy. It was like an 1870 home.
Yeah.
And it was like the home had been owned by the same family the entire time.
Since,
Yeah.
like they kept it in the family.
Yeah, they kept it in the family.
Man.
And they had
How do they clean their gutters that age?
Yeah.
That guy's not getting on a ladder.
No, it was it had been kept in the family until they sold it to my clients.
Yeah.
And they had pictures of their grandpa from the Civil War. Who
He lived in that house?
I don't know if he lived in the house, but it was like they had lived in that area for a long time. The kitchen had a fireplace, gigantic fireplace in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where they cooked everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think about like Conner Prairie, folks, that if you guys are aware of what Conner Prairie is, 1836.
Yeah. That's the time period.
Is the time period
1836,
for that main, the main attraction, the main neighborhood, because they got some other time periods going on. But 1836 was the original. So 1875, 1880s wasn't far off from there. 1920s, you're looking at a 100-year-old house, which is crazy.
Yeah. I love showing I showed a hole to a house the other day, and like, what is that hole? They're always boarded up somehow. There's a little spot in the basement. So that's the old coal chute.
Yeah.
And he was like, no way. So yeah, this house used to be heated with coal.
Yeah.
Then I go, so you see those two pipes that are sticking out of the wall? And he's like, yeah. I go, that's when they converted it over to oil.
Yep.
When they used to run it off of oil.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's crazy. And we talked about, the movie A Christmas Story. Right?
Yeah.
That was an old oil furnace that he was running, where they're like the black smoke coming out and all that.
Yeah. That's what we had on Ditch Road.
Yeah.
growing
So that's
up.
very typical, 30s and 40s kind of house.
Yeah.
But then there's the 1920s and earlier Home Alone house. The Home Alone house was coal. That old fireplace that
Really?
Kevin was scared of, the monster thing, that was an
Yeah.
old coal fireplace or old coal furnace.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't realize.
And that was when they started when HVAC, they called it the spider system.
Yep.
Where it looked like this big crazy spider, all the arms from all the HVAC vents going out.
I actually still have the old spider system ductwork.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Ann and I lived in a house that had it was full basement. And we lived in a tiny little house. It was like, 1,000 square feet. But the basement was another 1,000 square feet, and it had the furnace in the middle and the spider system that ran out. You couldn't even walk in that basement because of the ductwork and everything.
Yeah.
You could relocate it and like have a nice finished basement, but man, they weren't thinking, let's finish out this basement back in probably the 1930s.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are completely different. A lot of things that are completely different with homes that are built nowadays compared to the older homes. So one of the things that I've realized, the attic systems. If you ever get into an older attic, you can actually see daylight coming in from the eaves. The eaves are the outer edges of the roof system
that hang over. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was designed that way because they didn't have soffit vents.
Yeah.
And so just the way that they constructed their eaves, it allowed air to come in. And, you know, if you don't know much about attics, I like to say attics are the lungs of a house. It helps the home to breathe.
Yeah, homes have to breathe.
They have to breathe. Well, nowadays, it's not like that. And they actually bring in, on new construction, bring in air from the exterior through other vents to bring fresh air in and help the home to breathe. So, the older homes, you know, you can't treat them the same as a new construction house. No. It's completely different. And they change throughout the year.
Yeah. Well, terms too. Like nobody talks about eaves anymore. No. You know, like what's another term for gutters?
Eaves troughs.
Eaves troughs, right? I always love, you know, the whole saying eavesdropping. You know where that came from?
Yeah, somebody hanging over the edge of the house listening in.
So this goes back to the Tea Party, right? When they were like having their secret meetings, they would go and have meetings at the very top of these bars. Where they could be in secret, right? And they were all at the top of these buildings. Well, when like they were sending out original spies back then around the Tea Party time, right? The spies would get up on top of the house and they'd hang over the eaves and drop in on the conversation. That's where eavesdropping comes from. They actually used to hang out over the eaves and listen in on the conversations that were happening up in the attics.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think there's a lot of terms that have fallen off with older homes.
There's a lot of knowledge that's not getting passed on. And I think that's the frustration part of sellers trying to sell old homes. You know, is a lot of the people that are involved in a real estate transaction aren't familiar with older homes.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a situation right now where, you know, the brick is showing some signs of some settling. And they think it's a major structural problem that needs thousands and thousands of dollars to remedy. You know, and in my opinion, I think it's just gutters. It needs eaves troughs to manage the water on that to help from the settling and the erosion of the ground.
Yeah.
But if you look at the brick itself, it's not structural, you know, and nobody knows what they're looking at when they're looking at brick. You know, back in the day, the older homes that were built with brick, that brick exterior is structural. But
the whole wall was actually brick. It was not just the exterior brick.
Right.
The interior was also brick. And then they put plaster and lath over the top of that brick.
Yeah. But the way you could tell, how do you tell?
So if you want to like blow your friends' minds when you're traveling around on like, this home is true old house. If you look at brick, and you want to be able to tell if it's a brick facade or like brick siding, veneer, versus a true brick wall. A true brick wall, every about 6 or 7 rows up on a brick, you're going to see bricks that are turned sideways, and they'll, instead of a full length brick, it'll be a square.
Instead of a rectangle, it turns into a square.
Because they take that brick and they turn it in, and they attach it to the inner brick wall. Soldier course.
They call it the soldier course.
Is what a lot of people will call it. And so you're actually combining the inner brick and outer brick wall with those soldier courses. And so if you're looking at an old building and you want to be able to tell, is that a true brick wall or not? That's how you can tell. If you just see horizontal bricks, that's not a true brick wall. That is a facade. That's brick siding.
Yeah. Now it's not just like sitting. The brick isn't just like there's a gap between the wall, but it's not just like floating. They do take little metal ties and they tie it back, and it is somewhat secured to the wall, but it's not carrying the load of the house like people think.
Yeah.
Especially in new construction. You know, anything that's built in the last like 20 years that has brick that's cracking at all, it's just a veneer.
Yeah.
The house isn't falling down.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I've been seeing a lot which is awesome, are French drains.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not familiar with what a French drain is actually an interior drainage system for the home. It's all new construction. If, any home that's a new construction home, it's got a perimeter drain. So if water were to try to get next to the foundation, on the outside of the house.
For new homes.
Yeah, for new homes. If water were to get next to the foundation, drip down, it goes into this perimeter drain, goes into your sump pump, right? Old homes don't have sump pumps.
Yeah.
Most of them don't.
Yeah.
Any new home that does have or any old home that does have a new sump pump has a French drain. And that's where they actually come in and they will cut a trench around the perimeter of the home, inside the house, in the basement, put in a drainage system, and that goes into the sump pump and pumps it out. So that's a new thing that they've been doing to old homes to try and incorporate this drainage system, I've got an old home. My home's built in 1927.
1927, yeah.
I know. I'm going to have a birthday party coming up here next year.
Dutch style home.
Yes. I've got a Dutch colonial 1927
Dutch
home.
colonial, everybody thinks of it as like the barn style, right?
Yeah.
Where it's got the gambrel roof.
Yep.
There's the two different pitches to it.
Yeah. It's like what you see on sheds.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I love a Dutch style house.
I'm a sucker for a Dutch house.
I need a Dutch door. Mr. Ed, we're dating ourselves. Mr. Ed, the old TV show where the horse. If you guys haven't seen Mr. Ed, it's like an old show with the horse is like the main character. Like it's a real horse.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a real horse.
No, it was a real horse.
Was it a real horse?
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Ed? Okay.
Yeah.
So they had a Dutch door where they'd open up the top part and they'd leave the bottom part.
Yeah.
Our house that we just moved into had a Dutch door. We removed it.
Nice.
But yeah, Dutch doors are
Yeah, they used to use peanut butter. They'd put
to
peanut
get,
butter
to get
him to
Mr.
talk.
Ed to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there's a big difference between owning an old home versus when I say new home, I'm thinking, 90s and
Well, most
newer.
people think that. Most people think that this is a newer home, right? We go up to Westfield, Carmel, we're showing these houses. It's, the neighborhoods look like they're new. But you think about it, and this is, I think, just life, right? Like time flies by so fast, and you get to a certain age. I think all of us, at our age, think 90s isn't that old. Dude,
It's a new home.
it's 40 years old, though.
90s? Yeah.
Almost 40 years old, 36 years old, right?
Yeah,
in the
that's
1990s.
crazy.
And so if you think about everything on a home has a life expectancy to it. If you got a 3-tab shingle, you got 15 years. Dimensional, they say 25, 30. Windows, 20 years.
Yeah.
Furnace, if it's a good one, 20 years, right? So you walk into a house that's 20 years old and it's got all original everything. Guess what? It probably is going to.
That's true. So
Yeah, it's a younger house, but in reality, it's getting old. I actually love like the 1970s and 1980s homes. I like the 80s homes. Actually, I like
do
90s
too.
homes. I'll say this because 90s homes, almost everything has had to have been replaced at some point.
That's true.
You get into a house that's 2005, that sounds new, right? 2010, those houses are almost 20 years old. A 2010 house is 15
I just
years
showed a
old.
home that was 2009, and the dishwasher had like the lever that you had to like push over.
Wood grain? Was it wood grain?
No, it wasn't wood grain. But everything was original on it, and it all needed to be replaced.
Yeah.
It was all original. So here's the thing: when you're buying an older home, let's say it's from 2000, right? If they haven't listed out the updates and the new things, stuff needs to get replaced.
Yeah, because if they have updated it, they are wanting to advertise it. I mean, we talk to a seller, man, and they'll go, "Oh, we painted the walls, fresh paint. Yeah, great. When did you guys do that? Oh, it's oh, when was that, honey? 2016. When did we move in? 2018. Yeah, we painted it.
Yeah,
it's not new paint.
No,
I mean, it's just that whole time thing.
Yeah,
yeah. The people's opinion of an older home is different.
Well, so I will say this about old homes. When you're shopping for a home, there's a lot of things to consider, but a lot of people want a certain look and a certain feel. And so that's what they're going off of.
No, they love the charm.
Yeah, it's the charm, right? So you've got people that want low maintenance, no maintenance, right? They're going to be looking for a newer home in an HOA. The reason why I say HOA is because a lot of times they're kind of required to keep up on them. And you're not going to find one rundown home in a really nice HOA because the HOA is going to be like, hey, you need to fix that stuff. But older homes, and especially homes that are in like, so we're in the heart of Indianapolis. That's where we live. We see a lot of homes that are built in the 40s, 30s, several mid-century modern homes. And there are some quirks to those homes that people don't even realize. You know, I jokingly say, like, people will point out like the creaking floors. I'm like, well, that's built-in security. You'll know when somebody's walking through your house because the floors will creak.
It's the one house ninjas can't sneak up on you.
That is very true. Yeah. I've got some doors in my home that in the wintertime, when everything's nice and dry from cranking the heat and drying the air out, the door is shut just fine. In the summertime, none of the doors.
You know, that's funny that you bring that up. I was at somebody's house the other day, and it was a bourbon club, right? Go over, everybody does around at their house, and we got a new guy, and so we went over to his house and just moved in, and we were talking about it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're in real estate. Oh, I forgot you were in real estate." But anyways, they also know my construction background, and they were, you know, like in a way, they weren't really embarrassed, but they were kind of saying, "Oh, you know, we still got a lot of work to do, and you know, there's a couple things we didn't realize when we bought the house, and you know, we just got a guy set up. He's going to come over to the house. This is what they're telling me. We got this guy who's going to come over to the house and look at some things, and I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out to be a big deal, but we got like this crack up here." Over by like this one spot, and then we got kind of another crack, and just like out of nowhere, like we just moved in, and all of a sudden we got cracks. Like there's some major settling going on. And I asked him, I go, "When did you move in?" And they said, "Oh, it was like around like July." I go, "Oh, okay." I go, "When did you start noticing the cracks?" Like just in the last couple months. So I mean, it's not good. This is like something is settling. And I said, "Let me ask you this: when you walk around the house, do you get shocked ever?" Like all the time we get shocked. I go, "Do you have a electric furnace?" "Yeah, the whole house is electric." I go, "So what's happening is your air is so dry and everything, like your door, everything is shrinking up so much that all the cracks are starting to show."
Yeah.
And I started telling this and like, yeah, whatever. Well, I told them the story. We just had our basement remodeled at the old house, and we got a little bit of water in one little corner at one point. And so I wanted to make sure that, you know, it was dry. And I tell all my clients, if you got a basement, you should have a dehumidifier.
Yes.
So I went and I got the biggest, baddest dehumidifier that you can get. Overkill, man. The house itself was like 2,000 square feet, and this dehumidifier was rated for like a 5,000 square foot house. And so I put it in the basement, and I just set it on continuous.
Yeah.
Like dry this thing out. And I go down there after a month, and I could see every seam, every joint, every spot where they put caulk to fill in, where you looked like it was a seamless, you know, run.
Everything dried up and it shrank.
It shrank. Yep. And so that's what happens in the wintertime. Everything dries out. And people, and I told them, I go, "Guys, call that guy and tell him you don't need him." And they're like, "Really?" I go, "I promise you. Wait till the summertime. You still see those cracks in the summertime, then you got an issue. But those things will go away in the summertime. When everything gets humid, everything swells back up again.
Yeah.
It's like your doors probably don't work in the summertime. Mm-hmm. You know, they stick a little bit."
Yeah, they all stick. Well, you know, new construction, a lot of builders are like anticipating that stuff, which is great. That's the beauty of a new home is they've got built-in humidifiers, and then obviously you add a dehumidifier to like the basement, and it's going to keep that home conditioned to where you're not going to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Older homes, you could have a humidifier in your basement or on your HVAC system, a dehumidifier in the basement to keep everything. The home is going to shift and move, and it's
going to breathe, and you want it to breathe, you know?
Yeah.
So what if, we've got a lot of knowledge when it comes to homes. So what if you're trying to buy a house and you don't have an agent that's got our knowledge, and maybe an inspector that is doing a little too much CYA, okay, and you really want to find out what's going on, and you don't know who to talk to. You have no resources. What could a homeowner do right now? What is one resource that every homeowner has available to them right now where they can learn a little bit about maybe what's going on? You got to be careful.
Yeah, I hate to say it. Use AI and it will tell you a lot. Okay.
You got to be careful with AI.
You got to be careful with AI.
You got to go if you guys are going to use AI, you got to go with the long language models, right? Like there's a couple ones that you can kind of rely on right now. There's a ton. ChatGPT, Claude. I think those are the two probably most reliable ones.
Those are probably the only two that I would use.
Yeah.
I know a lot. I have clients, and I know a lot of homeowners that are starting to use ChatGPT and other AIs for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate in our industry that when you bring in a contractor or you bring in a home inspector, there is a lot of CYA, cover your ass type of language and things going on. And we did it to ourselves.
I know.
We created this.
Yeah.
Like, people started suing everybody for stupid stuff.
Everybody's scared to give you their real opinion sometimes.
Yes. So, I don't blame them, but and I'm going to go back to what I've said, and I'll probably say this 1,000 times. Watch This Old House, and you will learn everything you need to know about an old house. But ChatGPT, and we're not sponsored by them, but yet. Go do some AI research, and it'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Don't take it for, this is
Verbatim, exactly what they say. Because the thing with AI, what I found is it's like a total yes man.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like perfect example. I uploaded a presentation the other day and just wanted to get like some feedback on it. And the first thing was, wow, what an in-depth, just touting my praises on how well I put this thing together.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I know I misspelled a bunch of words in that thing. Like, come on, give me some real feedback.
Yeah.
So you got to be kind of careful with it. If you're using AI, don't ask it yes or no questions, because it's just going to tell you, I think, what you want to hear.
Keep it open-ended.
But uploading an inspection report.
Yeah.
We started doing this where you upload an inspection report and you ask it to give you a quote, on all
totally.
the things. And it can do that.
Yeah.
In fact, there's somebody in our industry right now that just put out a product that can do that. Basically just tapping into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But it's also, besides, figuring out what's going on with your house, you can actually go say, hey, I have a 1927 Dutch colonial home, and there you can upload all the estimates, upload all the reports, upload everything to it, and just start feeding ChatGPT or Claude or one of these AIs, and start asking the questions about your house.
Totally.
And it can give you all kinds of advice on, depending on the age or based on the age of your home and what you're giving me, I would recommend that you need to go clean your gutters.
Yeah. Well, so I would say, let's say you own an older home. And what are we saying as an older home?
20 years or older.
20 years or older,
Yeah.
okay? If it were me, first thing I would do, I would talk to the neighbors. Especially if it's in a neighborhood where all these homes were built by the same people, and go, what are you experiencing?
Yeah.
Are you having the same issues that I'm having? Because, experience goes a long way. And if you've just moved into a neighborhood where they built the home and they've been there for 25 years, they're going to know exactly everything that's gone on.
Oh, yeah. They'll say things like, well, we all got nailed with hail about 5 years ago. We all got brand new roofs, but for some reason that neighbor didn't do it. It's yeah. So ask the neighbors, for one. Definitely, hire a good home inspector. Yeah.
Keep that home inspection report, because here's the thing with the home inspection report. For one, they're not going to find everything.
They won't.
But they will find most of the things. And most of the things that they are going to find are going to be a to-do list or the old classic honey-do list.
Oh, honey, you need to get on that paint. It's time to paint the house.
I mean, I tell people, like, you want to know what you need to do to the house, go down that home inspection report. And it's going to be loaded with stuff.
Yeah.
But the third thing is do a little research. And it's either watch This Old House or get on like a chat GPT or an AI and start asking it questions. It's going to at least point you in the right direction, because the biggest thing that you can do as a owner of an older home is what was the old it was like the government put out this thing is like if you see something, say something.
Oh yeah.
What was that? It was like you know, I was like, it was like a 9/11 thing. This is seriously what you should do with the home. If you see something, do something, right? If something doesn't look off, and you don't have to know anything about homes, but if you're looking at something like that doesn't look like it did when I bought the house, do something about it now.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Don't put it off. And it's going to say, I mean, small projects can turn into very big, expensive projects.
Yeah, get on it.
Prime example, I'll give you one. So, like I said, my home is old. It's about to turn 100 years old. I can't wait. We're going to throw a big ass party. It's going to be awesome. We just had a party, and we probably maxed out the capacity of my home.
Fire inspector would have had a heyday.
Yeah, and so this may have been an issue years ago, and I never noticed it, but I don't think so. I ended up going downstairs into the basement and looked up, and I saw that we had a floor joist completely broken.
Wow.
Like, not cracked. It broke and separated. And the floor joist.
Did you have a dip upstairs?
Well, I've noticed a dip, and so that's kind of what I was like on the phone chatting. You know, this is like a couple weeks after the party, and I'm like, the floor looks like it's a little dipped, and I don't remember seeing that. And we're down in the basement, and I've got a fully cracked, broken floor joist. Well, the joist, I don't want to be nerdy about it, but the grain on the wood was not.
Did they crown the board the right way?
I don't know, but there was like a knot in there.
Yeah.
The thing broke, right? It was an awesome party. That's how you know if you had a good party or not. You're breaking floor joists, right?
Yeah. We probably broke a few floor joists in Broad Ripple.
guaranteed.
Some of these old rentals in Broad Ripple.
Guaranteed.
Do some crazy parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I've got a repair to do.
Hey, let me ask you this. When are things most likely to break on a home?
Holidays.
Yeah.
Everybody I've ever talked to where their water heater stopped working, quit out is what I like to say. It's been like Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I'll tell you.
Air conditioner, summertime.
Summertime. Oh.
Like first week of summer, air conditioner will quit.
Yeah.
If it's going to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're buying a house, great tip right here. If you're buying a house in the wintertime, okay, and your air conditioner's 10 years plus, put a home warranty on it. If you can't get the seller to give you one, put a home warranty on it. Because, one, inspectors cannot test an air conditioner if it's below 40 degrees.
That's true.
It'll do damage to the air conditioner. And a lot of buyers are like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
So if you can't test it and it's older, slap a home warranty on for $400 or $500. So when you do turn that thing on in the summertime and it breaks, you got some coverage.
Yeah.
But you know the number one time when things break? Here's what most people don't realize. It's right after you bought the house.
It's true.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
As soon as you buy the house, that's when things
I
start
think it's
to
an
break.
energy thing. I think that the home, especially if it's been like somebody that's like lived in the home for a long time, the home's going to be like, whoa, what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if
This feels
this feels weird. I mean, homes have energy. Homes are living, breathing. And you could tell me that I'm full of shit. And I might be most of the time. But homes have energy and feelings. And when things change in a home, the home will react.
Well, anybody out there drive an older car? and you let your friend borrow it, and they brought it back, and they're like, I don't know, man, it just shut down on me. And it's never done that with you. It's just like that with houses.
Yeah.
I drive the same old car for so long. It knows how I push the gas, how I hit the brakes, how I turn. You let somebody borrow that car, and they don't drive it the same way that you've been driving it for so long. I mean, that's just life.
Wow.
I heard something a while back, too, on cutting trees down. Like, you got to be careful cutting trees down. Because especially in a neighborhood or an area where there's a lot of trees, the wind, think about this, 80-year-old trees. Let's talk about an older neighborhood, 30, 40, 50-year-old neighborhood. It's not that old, right? But you got a lot of mature trees.
Yeah.
That wind is blowing across those neighborhoods and blowing through those trees, and has been doing it the same way for 40 to 50 years. And you cut down a couple big, significant trees, it changes the wind pattern going through the neighborhood. And those trees are now starting to get pressure in ways that they never got pressure before. You cut a tree down to give yourself some more yard, and all of a sudden, now you got limbs dropping off of another tree and all kinds of things
funneling
happening.
air in a different way.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, so let's talk about how to protect your home. Older homes, right?
Sure, yeah.
If you're going to be owning an old home, there's several things that you have to keep in mind and be aware of. Number one, flat out, maintenance is number one on your priority list.
And we say this, and this is, I think, number one maintenance, number one job of a homeowner. If all you guys out there that have ever worked with me and Seth, you've probably heard us say this, your number one job as a homeowner is managing the water on your property.
Yes.
Keeping the gutters clean, having those gutter extensions run out, having the proper ground slope, managing all that water. It's maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah. Any low spots in your yard that has standing water, it's beyond just like standing water and mosquitoes might, pop up. It's going to affect everything else around your home. So you got to do that. But let's just say that you don't want to deal with any of that stuff and you're not going to maintain your home. Well, what are some things that you can do to put into place to protect your house in case of issues, right? Homeowners insurance. This is a question I get asked all the time, okay? What's the difference between homeowners insurance and a home warranty?
They cover different things.
What are they? Tell me about that.
So a home warranty is going to cover all the movable parts of your home. So
And typically it's inside, right?
it's all inside.
Yeah.
A home warranty is all inside.
Yeah.
It never covers anything outside the walls.
Yeah.
Right. And even really your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover anything outside of the walls.
Yeah.
Anything outside of the walls, you're talking only a couple things: sewer line, water line, septic system. There is outside insurance that you can get. Utility Shield. Anybody that's living in Indianapolis, get Utility Shield, especially if you got an old water line.
What's Utility Shield?
So Utility Shield is an insurance program through the utility company for minimal money. I mean, it's like $25. I think they just add it to your bill. And anything happens to your water line or sewer line, full replacement needed, they come out and they cover it.
Okay.
But yeah, homeowners insurance, that's all the bigger stuff. Roofs,
Siding, windows.
These are
storm
catastrophic
damage.
stuff where you lose things, right?
Yeah.
Not just break things, you lose things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to have the right insurance. Should have a home warranty.
Yeah.
But I think protecting your home really is just general maintenance. And where people fail on taking care of their home and the general maintenance is forgetting to do things on the regular basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when do you change the furnace filter?
Yeah,
What
I was
did the
gonna
old guy
say.
do? What did the old guy used to do? He'd write it on the wall. He had a little check mark.
Yeah.
Like the old house that we bought. This was weird. The old house that we bought, he put a sign up, which is nice, on the size of the furnace filter and where to get it. And
That's nice.
And it said how often to change it, and it was once a year.
Wow. Don't do that.
Don't do that. No. Keep a record and have a reminder, but it's more than once.
It's more
a year.
than once a year.
So he was close.
Yeah.
You and I run our lives off of our calendar, but most people don't do that. And even if you did have a calendar, most people aren't looking at their calendar 10 times a day like Seth and I are.
No.
Most people don't have an assistant that can remind them of
Well,
things.
here's what's wild is a lot of the new thermostats that are Bluetooth, you can put in there when you change your filter, and it will send you a reminder via email, maybe even text.
That's pretty cool.
on, hey, you haven't changed your filter in
Yeah.
2 to 3 months or whatever. I mean, changing your filter, it all depends on your living situation. If you smoke cigars in your living room, probably change it once a month. If you've got cats, probably change it once a month. If you've got 2 big dogs like I do, you should probably change it once a month.
Yeah.
And also depends on the furnace filter. I've got a bigger filter area, so
You can do like a
you
3
go a
month.
little bit, 2-3 months. I mean,
Yeah, you get the big 4-inch HEPA filters. You can do it every 3-4 months, quarterly.
yeah. So
But here's where I love AI is you can get reminders from AI. You can set automatic reminders. But here's what's really cool. You can take your inspection report and upload it to ChatGPT. And you can start talking with ChatGPT and tell it all about the house. Tell it about, the things that you see physically on the home. There's a little bit of peeling paint around here and this and that and that. And then ask it, give me a recommendation of repairs that I should do based off the information that I gave you.
Yeah.
And then set a maintenance schedule for me. And then send me an email reminder of every time that I need to do something. And ChatGPT can do this. I do it with, community updates.
Yeah.
ChatGPT sends me a message every Monday with everything that's going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can do that with your house and set a full-on maintenance schedule where it sends you email and text reminder. I mean, it comes through ChatGPT. So you put the app on your phone.
Yeah.
You get it all dialed in. You can do it on the computer on your phone, and it dings your phone. It says, hey, it's time to paint. It's time to change the furnace filter. Time to change the gutter. Based off the amount of trees that you have in your area, right? Tell them how many trees and what type of trees. If you told ChatGPT that you've got a 100-year-old oak tree and when would be the best time to change the lead or to clean the gutters, it's going to tell you middle of December. Because oak trees don't drop their leaves until December,
they
basically.
should be telling you several times a year. But
Yeah.
but that's the beauty of AI, and I love how this conversation has gone to AI, because there's a part of me that doesn't want to rely on AI because I feel like it's going to make me rely on it and not use my brain.
Yeah, and you lose the skills.
And I lose the skills. But for somebody that doesn't have the skills, use AI.
Use it.
I mean, there's a few things that I would say, like if you're going to go this route, and I would recommend everybody do this, even if you're a seasoned homeowner and you're a construction worker and you know how to use, tools and work on your home, is get into an LLM, large language model, wherever they call it, ChatGPT, Gronk, whatever, and tell it everything about your home.
Yeah.
The age, the location, zip code.
Yeah.
And it's going to look at the type of weather that you have. It's going to look at, what kind of home that you've got, and it's going to start to give you recommendations on things to do to your home. And honestly, I feel like the problem with America these days, nobody knows how to take care of their home.
Yeah.
And it's
You got a lot of contractors that are out there trying to sell you on stuff too.
Well, that's the biggest
right?
thing.
Okay, how big of a furnace do you need? What type of furnace do you need? Half ton, quarter ton, 2 ton.
Yeah,
right?
they'll try to upsell you on all that stuff.
On all that stuff. Go to ChatGPT. Say, I have this age of a home that's got this type of roof, because that matters when it comes to the energy efficiency of it. I got this age of windows, and my furnace just went out. What type of furnace should I get? And it will tell you the exact size that you need.
Got a great story. A client of mine, they bought a house up in Carmel, probably 25, 30 years old. And they started a furnace. One of their furnaces went out. And so he contacted a HVAC company. They come over there, and it was like $3,500 is what they quoted him. And so he was like, well, what's the issue? And I was like, well, it could be several different things. They kind of beat it around the bush.
CYA.
So he got on ChatGPT and typed in all the things that was going on, gave him the model number, the make, and all that stuff. And it told him, these are probably the issues that you're dealing with. And dialed it down to what was probably the issue.
No way.
And so he went to a supply store, and it was like it was a blower motor and a capacitor thing. Went and bought it. ChatGPT told him how to replace this thing. $150. And this guy replaced it on his own. Now, the guy is super smart and very handy, but he's never done this stuff before.
Yeah.
What could have cost him $3,500? He did it.
Saved him.
It saved him huge. Now, did he have the time to do it? No. But he was like, I'm not paying that. He knows money really well. He's like, I'm not paying that fucking money to go have somebody do this for myself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
An hour. $150. Chat GPT. Saved it. Now his furnace works.
Yeah.
So,
That's huge.
You know, you don't need to know how to do everything, but you need to know how to figure that out. And I don't know why I say I hate to say it, because this AI thing, you know,
It's here. You just got to lean into it. It's
you
a
gotta
tool.
lean into it. It is a tool, and it's getting better.
Here's what I think of ChatGPT. Everybody thinks it's, it's stealing our jobs and all these things.
Taking our jobs.
It's a tool. And yes, it is taking away jobs right now. But it will add jobs at some point.
Yeah.
People just haven't figured that out, how this is going to, and this is why I believe that it's going to happen, is because for the longest time there were lumberjacks, amazing lumberjacks that could sharpen an axe sharper than a razor blade because they knew how to sharpen an axe. And they knew how to cut down a tree. They knew the right way to cut it and the right technique, and they were awesome at it. And they were good lumberjacks and they were bad lumberjacks. And then all of a sudden, there was the invention of the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And if you are the guy that's like, nope, I'm not dealing with that crazy black magic, get that hillbilly contraption out of here. This is what AI is. It is now the chainsaw for a lot of the things that we've been using.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So you could stick to your old axe and you can be old school with it. And if you still have the skill and the talent, great, go out. You can prove something to all your buddies, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's going to run out there with a chainsaw. It's just like the circular saw. Okay. When there was a handsaw, think about building a deck back in the day, right?
Oh,
When the circular saw came out, everybody could go buy a circular saw for not a lot of money and go out there and they can cut a board. Mm-hmm. But how do you cut that board?
That's
so perfectly that it just seems like it blends in around that post. It's just a
there's
tool.
still some skill.
It's just a tool.
Well, I think, when it comes to old homes, and this is my opinion only, they're way more attractive. And
They don't build them like they used to.
that's true. I mean,
I don't think that these homes that are being built now are going to last 100 years.
no, if your home is 100 years old, it's highly likely it will last another 100 years.
If you manage the water on your property.
If you manage the water on the property and keep up on the maintenance. If your home is 20 years old, if it makes it to 100, I will be very surprised.
I think it's
unless it's like a custom build and something like that. But like these cookie cutter homes that are,
they're great houses, right? They're affordable.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they are building them with minimal materials and it works just fine. Puts a roof over your head. It will protect you.
Yeah.
But at some point, I just don't see them lasting 100 years, which is fine if they keep the price low and then it just becomes like a disposable camera,
Yeah, I mean,
Throw it away, go get another one.
I think that's where half of the building industry is going. Is
because they know people don't live in homes for more than 10, 15, 20 years anymore. So that's what they're building houses for. Back then, 100 years ago, they built that house to pass
last
down in
Yes.
the generations. Just like you talked about, the house that had stayed in the family, that's what they built those houses to do.
Yeah.
Is to stay in the family and provide protection and housing and a place for memories for 100 years.
Yeah.
Today, builders are not thinking 100 years from now.
No. I mean, a quick little story, a lot of quick little stories today, but Adam and I were working on a house one day back when we were doing construction, and I think we were remodeling the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we locked ourselves out of this house. And we showed up to do the work. Homeowner's not there. House is all locked.
With the siding, we're doing the siding and doing the bathroom.
Well, we were doing the siding and the bathroom, and we used a pocket knife to get into this house. And not to jimmy the door open, we cut our way into the house.
Yeah, because we had the siding off, and so the only thing that was
foam board and insulation.
foam and insulation and some drywall.
Yeah, and so a lot of homes these days, if you're not aware of this, especially if it has...
I hope this homeowner isn't watching, but we patched it up so fast you couldn't even tell that we cut our way in.
They had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got vinyl siding on a new construction home, you can literally use a pocket knife and cut your way into a house.
Yeah.
Now, there's several benefits to having a new home because it's energy efficient.
They are. Yeah, absolutely.
My bills, now let me say, I love old homes. My bills are literally through the roof.
Yeah.
I'm losing heat like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's the style, it's the character, it's everything I want in a home.
It's an actual 2x4.
It's an actual 2x4.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not a 2x4. Nowadays, it's 1 3/4 by 2.5 inches. That's a 2x4.
Yeah.
Crazy, I know, right? So there's a lot of, there's pluses and minuses to new homes versus old homes. I think the biggest takeaway I could say with an older home is you have to know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
You have to know that this is, you're preserving history. You're not just moving in, living in it, and it's going to be fine. Like, you have to take care of this thing.
Yeah.
And you got to take care of any home. Most new homes are a little bit less maintenance. But
we're talking to homeowners too, right? Like,
yeah.
This is an investment. Whether you're buying a new home or an older home, it's an investment. And the more that you take care of that investment, it's the only investment that you can actually somewhat control. If the stocks go down tomorrow, there's nothing you can do to get that stock to come back up in value.
Yeah.
Right. But if all of a sudden the market starts to go down and you have to sell for a job or whatever, right? You can improve that house, and there are ways to get a return on the money you put back into it.
Yeah.
I think it's the number one investment for anybody to make right now.
I agree. So I think this is where we should go with this is start taking care of your home. If you're not,
come up with a maintenance schedule.
And if you need help, if you don't know anything about homes, get on ChatGPT, get on an AI. It will teach you the basics. And if that's too much, just call us because
if you don't trust AI and you want to get a real person.
I don't trust AI.
I don't trust it.
No, I use it.
I'm warming up to it.
I'm getting better at it. Yeah.
Call us, okay? info@Catron Property Group. You can't call that. Email us at info@Catron Property Group. We'd love to chat with you guys about your house.
Yeah.
We love older homes. And there are some great tools out there like AI that you can use to keep up on it and give you reminders and just learn a little bit about this cool old 1927 Dutch colonial that you're getting ready to move into.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'll be throwing a party, and there's going to be a lot of repairs going on.
Yeah, next year, 100-year-old.
I got a repair going on next week, so we might do a video on that. But here's the thing. Work on your house. If you don't know how to do it, use AI. And if you don't want to do that, give us a call.